Hi, how you doing?
Jennifer, we're doing fabulous. How can we help you?
Well, I decided to get a different smartphone, the Samsung Galaxy S3 or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I'm having a battery issue. It does not last whatsoever. It can't even last a day.
Wow.
And I'm like, that was one of the issues I had with my other phone before I switched to this one. And I know AT&T would just reboot my phone, and that's it. And try.
What phone did you have prior to this, just out of curiosity?
A Samsung 4G Infuse.
Oh, so it's not like you went from a non-smartphone to a smartphone because, one of the things we know is when you get to a smartphone, the battery doesn't last as long, Jennifer. It's just one of those things that we know that. But, yeah, this one should be lasting longer than it is. So I'm kind of curious as to what might be running in the background. The things that take the battery life, of course, are the GPS, are typical, things that keep the screen hot. That is the light back up on the screen. Those are the kinds of things. Have you done anything in that regard in terms to try to manage that a little bit? Because, these smartphones use battery. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I did. I turned back the GPS on because I travel a lot and I need to find locations, especially moving from one area to another. And they turned off a couple other things, but it doesn't run hot on mine, and my light screen is not always that bright.
Yeah. So when you say you're using it for the GPS, do you actually use it to navigate? I mean, like you've got it, for example, in your car up on the dash somewhere saying, turn left here, turn right there. Are you using that capability?
Yeah, when I have to, yes.
Well, here's the thing. That kills the battery like nothing that you know. So you've got everything running at once. So in that case, I mean, that is a place where you definitely would want to make sure you've got it attached to the charger because that will run it down very quickly.
So after I'm done finding the location, just turn it back off?
Well, I'm not sure about that's the case. I mean, but the thing is, you'd like to have it there. So I think that in the car, the way I do it when I use mine is I just attach it to the car charger and leave it. I'm lucky. My car has a little spot on the dash, Eric, where my phone will sit right there next to my instrument panel, so I can watch the GPS when I need to, and it'll talk to me and all that kind of stuff. But the point is, if you're actually using the phone for navigation, you got to have it on the charger.
And if you're using it as you're relying on it as your GPS, chances are you aren't going to want to find your location and then turn it off because you're going to want it running for navigation to give you turn-by-turn directions.
Hey, a couple of miles ago, you should have turned left, but I was kind of taking a nap at the time. That's not going to do any good. So.
But if you are using it in a situation where you're finding a location and then you just want to know, am I close to this business, and you find it and turn it off, and then you go to where you're going. If you're walking or something, driving doesn't usually work out that way, just a logistics thing. So
okay, is there like a backup battery that I can use and charge that first, and then if I need to charge my phone, I just hook it up to it? Like I know they had something like that for an iPhone, so I was just wondering if there's one similar for a Droid.
Actually,
there's a pile of accessories out there. Is that where you were headed with this, Eric? Because there's one sitting here on the table in front of us, right?
That's exactly where I was going, yes. We actually talked about this a few weeks ago on the show.
Yeah, so I have a little gadget that I carry in my pocket, or in this case, a little black bag, because, I have so many gadgets, Jennifer, that my pockets won't hold them. So I carry a small black bag with a bunch of junk in it, as any of my friends will tell you. And one of the things I've got is a thing called a power gen, and it's basically... I think of it as like a pony tank because I used to scuba dive a lot. But it's basically, extra battery for your battery. And it just plugs into the bottom of the phone. It plugs in. And in this case, they say, for example, the typical smartphone, it will charge it from a dead stop 4 times.
Here's another idea. We have this this camp stove here. But
we started out with a camp stove. Now, let me ask you, is your vehicle convertible? Because if you could run around with an open fire in it, I think we've got a way to keep it charged for you.
Oh, okay. What's the name of that stove, too?
No. Well, the camp stove, it's the BioLite camp stove, but that would be useful if you were, in an outdoors situation where you might also be, wanting to keep warm or cook some food. It's not really a realistic solution.
And the backup battery.
Yeah, the thing that you might. Power gen? Yeah, look at this. Jennifer's taking us right to the thing that's useful, and that's okay, right? But the useful thing, it's called a power gen, and there's probably a ton of them out there.
This one I think is the mobile juice pack.
It's called the Mobile Juice Pack Ultra.
But there are other devices like this out there
Ultra.
that.
Yeah. That'll probably do it.
Be
So anyway,
perfect at the airport when you can't find an outlet.
Exactly. Right. This is basically, you got 4 or 5 charges in your pocket. But tell us something. How do you like this Samsung Galaxy S3?
I like it. It's just lately it's been freezing up on me, which I thought it was weird because it's been doing the same thing as my previous phone. So I was like, I like it for the touchscreen because I became partially paralyzed for a while, and I needed something with touchscreen when you can't press buttons.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah.
So this comes in handy a lot, and I'm just waiting for my husband to get one similar so we could have like a video conference on it. While we're talking.
You can hang out. That's cool.
Yes.
I mean, you could be able to do that on the phone. Now, you say that it locks up occasionally. Have you let Eric near your phone at all? Because he hacks these things into unusability eventually.
I was actually going to go there. I was going to say, I experience that from time to time, but I'm sort of a special situation.
It's self-inflicted yes. is the problem.
Yeah.
You don't have that problem, though. You don't hack your phones, do you?
No, I don't even know how to do it. So.
You seem like a nice person. I wouldn't have guessed that you would do that kind of thing. All right, so you get you one of these extra batteries. Absolutely look in there. Make sure that there's some tools inside the phone for keeping the battery, under good wraps. Putting it to sleep at night, that kind of thing might help you out a little bit as well. But best of luck with it.
I really appreciate it.
Jennifer, thanks so much for your call.
Thank you.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
All right.